SBTV Nation, it's the dream in the house, and we got mad stuff to talk about. A lot went on in the landscape last night. You've been psyched up with college basketball all day yesterday, and now today. Hat, where you at?
Oh, what's going on, player? How you doing, man?
Woo.
Feeling good with the new little intro we got there, huh?
No doubt, brother. I love that. Love the beats. Love to listen to the music in the morning. Just gets me going. It's got my energy going. SBTV Nation, good morning, y'all.
Oh, we are on Twitter right now at SBTV Nation. Guys, having a hell of a good time with all 194 countries that have been with us worldwide. And Dream.
Yes, sir.
Last night they announced the college football top 4 and the top 25. As a matter of fact, and I don't know if you and I necessarily agree with the top 4, but let's have a quick conversation about it. Let's just start from the top with Clemson being number 1. I'm good with that right now. Obviously, the body of work. I mean, they did beat Notre Dame. They did beat a few other teams. They did beat Florida State. And, right now, until they get knocked off, I think they deserve the number 1 spot. Big ups to our guy Weaver with that.
I'm with you.
All right, number 2, Alabama, who is 9-1 with the 1 loss behind their belt to Ole Miss. And I believe if Alabama runs the table and wins the SEC championship and knocks off Florida, then they should be in.
I'm with you.
You with me? All right, The Ohio State University, number 3, 10-0, has not lost a game yet and has a really difficult schedule coming up as they got to play Michigan State this week in Columbus. And next week, they got to go to Ann Arbor and play Michigan. And then they got to face Iowa, most likely in the SEC. Not the SEC, the Big Ten championship game.
I'm still with you.
All right. And then we have the number 4, Notre Dame.
I need the Family Feud, that big red thing with the X that goes,
Well, you know how the evil genius alluded to the fact that they equal ratings, so that's probably a good reason that you put them in there.
They getting ratings all right because people are in outrage and it's causing mad controversy. So they are getting ratings, but I don't know if it's the type of ratings that they want. I don't know how you put Notre Dame in the 4th spot, player. I don't. Come on now.
I understood some of the arguments. I understood some of the arguments. Obviously, you got the Big 12 sitting there kind of on the outside looking in. Well, let's just talk about number 5 first. Iowa,
no doubt.
At number 5, I'm fine with it.
Yes.
I'm fine with it because, number 1, if they win out and beat whoever is in the Big 10 championship, then they're going to obviously knock them out and get in there. So if Ohio State loses and doesn't get into the Big Ten championship, then obviously they would slide in, and as long as they win out, they're in. So they're fine. Now you've got Oklahoma State and Oklahoma who are in the Big 12 who have to play each other in the last game, and they have some pretty big games this week. Oklahoma State has to play Baylor, and Oklahoma has to play TCU, which we still don't know the status of Boykin, TCU's quarterback, but either way, they're going to have to play each other next week. Now, here's where the tricky part begins.
Go ahead.
What if one of these teams, Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, win this week and then win next week? Now you've got a controversy between Notre Dame, if they beat Stanford, and the Big 12.
No doubt.
And I think the body of work in the Big 12 would be far more oppressive than Notre Dame beating Stanford, considering Stanford has 2 losses already.
I would have to agree, but my whole thing is I just can't put out at 9-1. If you're gonna put a 9, to me the strongest 9-1 team is Oklahoma.
Absolutely, the Sooners.
To me, the strongest 9-1 team is Oklahoma. And I just can't put Notre Dame there. And I can't put Notre Dame in with the 1 loss with Oklahoma State and or Iowa both being 10-0. As of right now, to keep it politically correct, I have to put one of those 2 at the 4 spot, and then I can put Notre Dame at the 5. And then when one of those gets a loss, I maybe can move Notre Dame up. But out of the 9-1 teams, I still say that Oklahoma's the best. And you can make the argument that possibly Florida and I'm struggling with saying Michigan State, but I'm going to say Florida, Michigan State, and Notre Dame. I would say they're all tied
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, the good
know
news,
what I'm saying?
Well, the good news for those two teams is that they obviously control their own destiny. Because if Florida can go into an SEC championship and knock off Alabama, you got to put them in, bro. I mean, you knock it off the number 2 team in the country.
I've got no confidence in Florida doing that.
I don't either, but I'm just saying. Not with that offensive line versus the front four of Alabama. That ain't going to happen, man. But then you got Sparty. And Sparty's got The Ohio State University this week. Now, Connor Cook's a little banged up, but he expects to play this week in Columbus when they play The Ohio State University. And they're a 13-point underdog. So Vegas is not seeing Michigan State in the top 4, especially with them being a 13-point underdog this weekend, brother.
I know, dude.
And if they do manage to knock off The Ohio State University, then they have the tiebreaker over Michigan. If they win out.
I know.
So they would get into the Big Ten championship versus Iowa. And then we'll see what's going on with that. And who knows? Maybe they slide in, brother.
I just feel like, dude, I don't know why. I feel like a team like Iowa, if they go undefeated and even win their their championship, I don't know why. I'm kind of getting the feeling like they're going to get left out.
No way. Absolutely not. No, you knock off The Ohio State University, bro. You're in. Ohio State has been in the top 3 the whole year.
I know. I don't know. I just get to feel like some of these schools are holding. Like I said, when you look at some of the drops after a loss, and then compared with other drops, it's not a level playing field. It's not equal in some of these situations. And like I said, to put Notre Dame at the 4 spot right now, what are they thinking?
Ratings, baby. Ratings. That's the thing. I mean, it would be an absolute travesty, man, if you had Notre Dame in there over a 1-loss Oklahoma who runs through Baylor, TCU, and Oklahoma State. That's something I'll have a problem with.
I think they're discrediting, like, some of the conferences just get discredited, dude, is what I really think that they do that.
Well, here's another situation why Notre Dame is getting a nod over Oklahoma right now. Oklahoma's 1 loss came to your boy over at Texas.
Yeah.
Notre Dame stomped Texas. That's what is another little caveat as far as Oklahoma is concerned. So that is one thing that the committee is looking at as well, in my humble opinion. So that's what a lot of the analysts thought last night on the show.
All right.
You know what I mean? So that kind of makes sense to a certain extent. So you have a 1-loss Alabama that lost to Texas, and then you have a 1-loss Notre Dame who stomped Texas. So,
I'm good with that. But like I said, as of right now, Iowa, Oregon State belong. They should have that 4 spot because they're undefeated.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what ends up going down. I mean, we got a lot of football left. There's actually 2 more games as far as these teams are concerned, and we'll be all over it. And Dream, this week is Yale Harvard as well.
No doubt. Are you going to it?
I'm going to go.
All right.
I think I'm going to go. The good news is that it's at a 2 o'clock start. So I could get there like right after the show and start tailgating for a few hours.
Wait, you gonna get thrown out this year, dude?
I am not gonna get thrown out this year.
All right.
I'm gonna have my kid with me, dude. So
y'all don't know, like about 5 years ago, I don't know how long it was, got thrown out the Yale Harvard.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show a few times, man. Yep. No, I'm not gonna be doing it like that. Although if we were bringing the SBTV Nation and doing the show there, then it might have a different spin on getting kicked out of there. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Well, I don't do getting kicked out, so we would have kept it real. If we went to SBTV Nation, I would have been like, oh, no. We got to pull it back a little bit, fellas.
Pull it back.
But anyway, son, to switch gears and move over to college hoop that I said I wasn't going to get into, but I got into last night. As my wife, her schedule changed and she had to go out last night. And I was like, okay, bet, go ahead. I got the kids. I got everybody. Turned on all the TVs on college hoop and just ran around with them all night. But I watched a lot of basketball last night. Got a real good look. And I want to let you know something. Kentucky is back.
They're back.
They're back, son.
I caught bits and pieces of that. I was in between that and the Pittsburgh Penguins game and the Toledo game and the whole pack. Dude, I was channel surfing for days last night.
Yeah, Kentucky is back. They are listen, I was impressed again. Duke this year, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm a Duke fan, you guys know that, but Duke looks a little soft. They look a little bit soft this year. They're going to have to get a little bit gritty and get down there and start rubbing elbows, but they look a little bit soft. You know, the thing that I find very interesting about Kentucky is not I guess Calipari's not a big proponent of the three-point shot. Kentucky rarely has that dope white boy three-point shooter.
The point guard, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And not even a point guard, just that dope, shooter that will stand out at the three-point line and just drain it. And Kentucky doesn't believe in that. They believe in, driving the ball, and their guys will hit a three here and there, but Kentucky wants to live in the paint. And I really like that philosophy of Cal, because I honestly think I've always wanted them to take the college three-point and move it to where the pro is, because I really think that they take too many three-point shots in college.
Definitely. Well, we always said that. We said it all year last year, is that if Kentucky played, a perimeter shooting team that gets hot, they're in big trouble.
Yep.
And we've talked about that.
But you can say it about anybody, but what I think, and I'm not going to get into last year so much, but I just like that to me, his philosophy is more congruent with basketball, with the theory of basketball. It's just, you got these big dudes, your guys are like 6'8", 6'9", 6'11", whatever. Make them go to the hoop, because if you're not going to get the ball in on the rebound, you might get the offensive rebound, or you're going to get the foul. So I love the way he thinks and the way he coaches. He's got to work with his guys with some boards, but he's got that's a good looking team there. Very good looking team. They look really gritty, and they are going to be hard to beat. On the other side of that, the Maryland Terrapins, ranked number 3.
Yes.
Completely overrated.
Your boy Trimble
and even Suleiman, completely overrated. Good team, don't get me wrong. Good team, top 10 team, but number 3 they are not.
Number 3 they are not.
They are not. They are not.
I know they've all got some pretty rough games coming up, man. So we'll have to have a conversation as we materialize and see what's going on with college basketball.
And guys, keep a note of this. Jot this down, because your boy's going to give you this right now. Georgetown on Friday plays Wisconsin, okay? And Georgetown on Friday, I don't know what Vegas is going to have for a number, because it's not out yet. Georgetown's going to beat Wisconsin on Friday.
You think so?
Georgetown, by the way, they're going to be improved. They should be breaking into that top 10 at some point this season. If they play like they're built to play, Georgetown's going to be good, because I watched them against Maryland. They should have won the game against Maryland.
Really?
Yeah, they should have won that game. They got away from what they were doing to win the game towards the end of the game. They should have won that game at the end if their defense was a little bit more gritty. But Georgetown, their size, they're sized up again. They're big down low. The post game is dope. They got good play out of their guards. Georgetown should be a bit of a problem this year. And Kansas, once again, Bill Self is going to play everybody.
Perry Ellis.
Because somebody, listen, look, could somebody do Perry Ellis a favor? Send him a gift certificate to the Dollar Shave Club and get him to shave the head, all right? Listen.
That sucks when you're 20 years old.
I know. But at some point, I held on for a while myself. You know what I'm saying? My hairline receded, but I'm at the age where it's cool enough to be bald. Fortunately, I didn't have it at 20, but help my man out. He could go bald. He'll look good still. It'll work for him. But what he got going on right now is it just messes his shot up.
Get a little Bosley or something like that. You know
what I'm saying? Do something, son. Give him something, because it's bad out there. It makes his game look just that much uglier.
You should just go out and wear a hat the whole time.
Yeah. Get him a little stocky hat.
I'm going to send him one. I'm going to send him one of my special hats, kid.
A Scully, son. Let's give my man Perry Ellis a Scully.
Do-rag, dude.
Hey, listen. Kansas had this game. They looked like they couldn't be stopped. He looked unstoppable down low.
Yep.
Izzo takes his boys into the locker room, chews them out, gets in there behind. They come back out, dude, with the heart of a lion, and they take it to Kansas, man. Very impressed with how they played and how they came back. Izzo at 13, that's probably where his team belongs. I think they're good. I don't think they're all that. But it's a team that I think has a lot of growth potential, throughout the season. It's one of those teams that I think at the end of the season are going to be very dangerous at first looks. Kansas, number 4, they need to drop down.
Got to watch a little bit more of these teams and kind of see who's going to be top 5 in our opinion.
No doubt, definitely. But I wasn't impressed with them. Villanova, once again, real impressed with Villanova. They did their thing. They're back. They look really good again. Nebraska, I don't know what Nebraska's got, and of course, we haven't even talked about the whole Nebraska football got a controversy going on too over there because the kids have gotten like a little bit of trouble. So keep a lookout on that if you're looking at Nebraska this weekend for football. But we'll get into that like Friday. More talk about as we get closer to Saturday. We'll get more into the Nebraska issue. Did you catch anybody?
No, I just basically watched a little bit of the Kentucky and Dukies game as I was waiting for the college football playoff show. So, I was just watching that, and you know how I am right now with the college football, brother.
No doubt, definitely. And I'm there with you, but I just got in the hoop again, and I got to, I'll give you some, I kind of was talking about falling back from hoop, and I don't got time for it, but dude, last night I was all in it, and it was exciting again.
It was exciting, man. They were
college
going
hoop
crazy.
College hoop is definitely it's right there with the NFL with me. I really do enjoy college hoop. Couldn't really gauge UConn because they played New Hampshire.
Right.
I mean, it was a dope performance by them, obviously, but I still don't have a feel for them yet. So I'm gonna keep my eye on them, obviously this season to see where they're at. So in case you guys are wondering about UConn, I didn't really have a good gauge on them still.
Any interest in going and seeing them play live?
No.
None, huh? Why not?
I don't.
Man.
I don't really like basketball live.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we go see a UConn game and then go out afterwards? How's that sound?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that, but
that changes the whole equation.
We could. No, I'm enjoying that, but I just don't really like basketball live. I like it on TV. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I don't really like the one sport that I like live. You're gonna fall off your chair when I say this. Baseball.
I agree.
That's the one sport. It's because it's so slow. It's built for live.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You could go get popcorn and come back and nothing has happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why baseball's dope.
I know, man. You see everything around you, everybody going crazy and all that. That was a hell of an experience going with the evil genius.
Yeah, baseball's the one. It's the one sport. Even football. I don't like football live either, dude. My neighbor had season tickets to the Patriots like 3 years ago, and he was dragging me to every game, and I was like, "Oh, son, I do not want to go to these games."
I know. Especially when it's freezing cold, man.
I don't really care about the cold. It's that I don't got access to know what else is. When you're at the stadium watching that game, like unless you're killing your phone, obviously, you just don't know what is going on in the football world. Like in my basement, I'm like, I can see every game that's going on. I can go there. I can see what's happening here. I'm going over here. Somebody got hurt. I know everything that's going on. When you go to that game, it's like you've been put on like an island somewhere.
Well, it depends on where you go and watch it, though, man. I know that, going to like Sun Life Stadium at Miami Dolphins and all that. I mean, that's a whole different package, dude. You got the sun beating on you. You got beautiful women everywhere. I mean, it's really nice to do it like that. You could go in and have a mojito
son,
if you want.
Just go to the beach, son. Listen, you want to go in and have a mojito. You want to be at a football game or you want to be at the club? Nikki's Beach.
I like, and you know what's cool about Miami Dolphin Stadium is that they'll serve you more than one drink at a time.
I love it. Hat is at the football game trying to get a mojito.
Yes.
Somebody need to spill a beer on you.
I can't.
Oh, my bad here.
You can't really drink those right now at my age because, it's all sugar. So it's like it takes me like a week to work it off. I got the umbrella, the tiki umbrella going crazy. Absolutely, man. Guys, we're live on Twitter right now on SBTV Nation. Got a lot of people out here commenting on our crazy asses and looking forward. Dream. Speaking of football.
Yes, sir.
You know what time it is, man. It is Wednesday. It is hump day, and we got to talk about the opening lines of the NFL this week.
Let's get right into
all right,
that.
We're gonna just take a quick break and pay the bills, and we will be right back, guys, to talk about the opening lines of the NFL. Very excited about it. Here we go.
How would you like to win big cash in sports gaming? Well, now you can. Visit TKWins.com. With over 20 years of experience, they can get you the winning edge you need. specializing in winning selections on all major sporting events. NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NCAA basketball. Why wait? Check out their free daily winners online. It's never been easier to visit TKWins.com today and start winning. TKWins.com. Consistently picking the winners for you.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Back with the West Side Story in the game, kid. I love this track too, Dream. Big ups to you for giving me this one as well.
No doubt.
All right, guys. So we are going to talk right now about the opening lines of the NFL because there are some really good matchups this week, and I'm pretty damn excited to see what is going on here, man. So first one we have on a ticket to have a conversation about, Dream, is Thursday Night Football is going to be, well, first of all, Thursday Night Football is going to be absolutely terrible. You got a couple of teams that are actually battling for the division, man. Tennessee and Jacksonville. Battling for the division. Tennessee 2-7, Jacksonville 3-6, and the Jags -3. How do you get these awful games on Thursday night?
Because you just, I mean, you do. You don't know, they don't know who's going to be good and who's going to be bad. I mean, even though they kind of had an idea this two might be.
No doubt.
But the season before, like, you don't sometimes really know who's going to be good and who's going to be bad. And this is a bad one. But the thing is, it's national. So, everybody wants to see their squads, nationally. The NFL has Tennessee fans and, there's Jacksonville fans. So, hey, you got to give everybody a little shot at prime time. You know what I mean? You can't just be, the great teams every week, so they have to, be, politically correct with it. But, speaking of the NFL, and I'm not going to get too long on this, I'm just going to be quick, though. I got to say, I listened to a couple of shows yesterday, and I always discuss, what my man Fat Mike has to say. And Fat Mike went off a little bit about how the NFL, the product is just, it's really losing a lot of its luster. He went into, how the defenses now are really awful, which I talked about as well. The defenses in the NFL is really awful. NFL is kind of really becoming arena football. I mean, it's just a run and shoot kind of game now. I mean, we used to have back in the day, defenses used to have names. Remember, the Purple People Eaters, the Doomsday Defense, the Steel Curtain. Now it's like the booty defense. That's the new name for everybody's.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he says that, you've taken that dynamic out of the game. The running backs aren't what they once were either. I mean, remember we had great running backs, Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, I'm going way back now, Gale Sayers, but I'm just saying, Tony Dorsett, Roger Craig's, the great teams had great running backs. And, now you got these running backs. Yeah, you do have Andrea Peterson and Gurley is nice up and coming breath of fresh air, but the NFL has removed a lot of the stuff that made the NFL great and got it to where it's at. It's missing now. It's gone, and it's really visible. And they really need to do something about it.
Well, as far as defenses are concerned, I mean, number one, if you're a corner or safety or whatever, you can't even touch them. You can't even touch nobody anymore. That's number one. Obviously, you got 5 yards to play tug of war and stuff with them, but for the most part, yeah, granted. And there are a lot of guys getting hurt. I get it, and it all starts in college with those ridiculous targeting penalties. And then when they move up to the next level, it's kind of the same thing almost. It's not as apparent as it is in college with the targeting, bro. But, for the most part, I think that, they really can't hit. So what they're doing is they're hitting on the defensive line with all these running backs, man. So that's probably why you're not seeing a lot of great running backs, superstar running backs, busting out of the line. And, you're seeing a lot of passing. The NFL is a passing league, man.
I understand that, and I like that because I enjoy the pass. I'm a big proponent of the pass game. I just think that my issue with the NFL is just the depth of the teams as far as just having talent. I think there's a lot of teams that don't have a lot of. You don't have that talent that you've had over the years. And I know that, free agency, the cap, all that stuff's got involved to ruin that dynamic, in order because they want it, certain teams just were always bad and then certain teams were always good. And I get, broadening that landscape, but I just think that it's gone too far. I think they need to pull back, get a little bit back to basics. First off, they could start by maybe solidifying what is a catch and what is not a catch, because I'm sick of debating that every week.
Every week, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Every
I don't know, like Odell Beckham's thing wasn't a catch, and that was cool because it helped prove my point, helped talk about my point about him not being the best wide receiver in the game. But on the flip side of that, we saw the same thing catch with Detroit. I believe was it Golden Tate? I think it was Golden Tate did the same thing in a Detroit game, and they called it a catch.
Yeah.
And then you got the Calvin Johnson one, a year ago. I thought that was completely a catch. I still don't think the Dez Bryant one was a catch, though. Sorry.
You know what? Yeah, looking at definitely not Dez, but
I'm talking about last year though in the playoff game.
Yeah, right. Odell Beckham, I thought that was a catch. He took 2 steps and had the ball in clear possession.
Yeah, they need to come up and make it look 3 steps. I don't know. Just make it something solid that you can look at, that you and I can look at and say that's a catch or that's not a catch. And I love when the NFL, right? Now they want to have those, the old guys that used to work for the NFL, like Mike Carey or the Pereira guy, right? I love when they come down in the bottom box and tell you that, okay, it's not a catch or it is a catch. And then the ref comes out in the game and just completely goes against what they say. So they have no clue either.
Well, here's my thing with the Odell Beckham thing. Guys, we're talking about the last catch of the game where he took 2 steps, had the ball in his hands, and the Patriot defender swatted it out of his hands. Now, if he makes, let's say there's no defender around, right?
Right.
He takes those 2 steps, has the ball in his hands, goes out of bounds, and then drops the ball. They would have called it a touchdown.
I think.
So it's like the same premise. So I thought that was a touchdown. I really did. I mean, take 2 steps with the ball in clear control, and then somebody swats it out of your hands. It should have been a touchdown. But, hey, whatever. New England Patriots stay undefeated, and that's the way it goes, man. And that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. But
no doubt.
Going back to the AFC South, that is absolutely horrendous. It's like the NFC South last year, man. You're looking at the Indianapolis Colts 4-5. Houston Texans are 4-5 after their drubbing of the Cincinnati Bengals, surprisingly.
Drubbing?
Yeah, it wasn't a drubbing, but hey, you're an 11-point underdog. Any win, I don't care if it's 1 point or 30, it's a drubbing.
Yeah, and I guess my man J.J. Watt, you kind of turned off the Red Rocket, and with his comments, he got Andy Dalton mad, and I'm saying, dude, Dalton, don't even. I wouldn't even feed into that. You know what I mean? I mean, just whatever, And Watt, you know what? He needs to really be quiet because, he ain't really been all that this season, so he should just pull it back a little bit of a notch. But I could get him I like a little bit of that as it gets your team excited and gets you going, but keep it in the locker room, man. You don't got to get on the air with that.
Well, you know what? The Bengals are they only have 1 loss, Dream.
I know, no doubt.
So they're going to most likely catch a bye. As long as they win a good majority of their next couple of games coming up, they're 8-1. Got 7 games left in their season here, and they have to play. I mean, they got to play at Arizona. That's going to be I don't know about that game. I think they're going to lose that game personally. But then they got St. Louis at home. Then they got to go to Cleveland. They got the Steelers at home. They got to go to San Francisco. They got to go to Denver. Who knows what your boy is going to be doing as far as his injury status. And then they got Baltimore at home. So chances are they could win a good majority of these games here. And, catch a bye in the first round of the AFC playoffs, which is probably what they're going to need because they're not used to that. They're used to playing on Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, I know. Listen, the thing with them, like I said, we'll see who the matchup is. I'm not going to get too excited with them. The one thing I'm not going to get too overwhelmed either is Houston does seem to have their number. Sometimes there's just that team that you don't match up well against, and apparently Houston is that particular team for them. I would definitely say that the Seattle Seahawks defense, I think, is better than the Houston Texans defense, and Cincinnati was able to overcome being down by them and win the game. So I'm not going to get too excited about the Texan win, but yes, we still do have in the back of our mind what Cincinnati does in the playoffs, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Back to the Thursday night game. All right, we got the Texans and the Jaguars. All right, whatever, guys.
Keep
Go
it
watch
moving.
the football game instead.
keep it moving. How about that?
Yeah, watch the football game instead.
All right, moving on. Let's see what else we got as far as opening lines of the NFL, because there are a lot of good matchups here. How about this one?
Let me
hear. This one's got me kind of scratching my head a little bit. I guess I understand the line based on what Washington has been doing as of late, offensively. But Killer Cam giving a touchdown to Washington Redskins.
And would you have a problem with that?
I guess it's right on the money. I thought it might be a little bit more like, 8.5, 9 points, something like that. But, Carolina's been doing their thing at home, man. So, obviously 9-0, 5-0 at home. And the Redskins are 0-4 on the road, Dream. They haven't won a game on the road.
They got no faith in Kissing Cuz?
Kissing Cousins, man. I don't know. I you know what? I think Carolina can beat them and cover the spread.
I do know that the only dynamic that's going on in Carolina is Cam Newton and his mouth and his antics have ticked off like every defense in the NFL now. So everybody's going to be trying to plaster Cam with his dance moves, which I love because I think it's a clown too, and I'm right there with him. If I was a defense, I'd be ticked. So that's the only thing I know that's going on. Listen, I'm not getting involved with kissing. Listen, like I said yesterday, I don't really like betting against an undefeated team, and I don't really like betting against a winless team.
Right.
So I am going to stay clear of that particular matchup, as I think that the Carolina Panthers are going to beat the Redskins.
Here's a battle of a couple of nasty teams, but they are high-profile teams. And you got the Dallas Cowboys going into the Miami Dolphins, and the key ingredient in this particular game is Tony Romo is coming back under center, man.
And Tony Romo back under center, as far as I'm concerned, is a win for the Cowboys. Because, like I said, I don't really like what this Dolphins team has done. We talked about it all season long. The defense is way overrated. They're not getting any play out of their defense. Don't like what the quarterback does. Dallas's defense has been playing great. They've just gotten no type of offense out of it. Dez is under a lot of scrutiny right now, so he's got a lot of energy and will want to come out and do his thing and do a little bit of showing off. They're glad to have Romo back. Hopefully they can get a smidgen of success out of their run game. I see Dallas winning this game if Romo comes back. And if he's he's got to come back and be what I would say, in my opinion, 75%.
I'd be careful with this game, Dream. You don't know what you're going to get out of Romo's first day back.
I just said 75%.
I know. But you just don't know what you're going to get out of him. So
what I have noticed is, regardless of the quarterback, the Dallas Cowboy defense has played really good.
Oh, real good.
They've played really good, and that dynamic alone is telling me that Miami's not going to score a lot of points, because Miami doesn't score a lot of points even if the defense is bad.
I mean, they let up what 12? What was it? 12 points to Seattle.
Exactly.
Something like that, and then 10 points the other day. So, I mean, they're definitely playing well on the defensive side of the ball as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned. So, you know what? Hey, you might see a little bit of a defensive struggle here. Who the hell knows, man? But you know what? For me,
struggle.
I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, guys. I've been saying that for years. But you know what?
Playing defense for the Dolphins.
Cameron Wake is out for the year, man. So I don't know.
Stop clinging to Cameron Wake, son.
I know.
Stop clinging to that's one guy.
I know.
I know he's dope, but you got a lot of heads on that team that's not been acting right.
Absolutely.
So I'm not. Every Miami Dolphin fan want to give me the Cameron Wake talk.
How about this matchup, man? As far as trying to catch a division lead again, is the Green Bay Packers, who have lost the division lead to the Minnesota Vikings, and Green Bay needs to go to Minnesota and get this, Dream. The game is a pick-em.
Yeah, I know. It's a bad spot for Green Bay, in my opinion, because Minnesota's playing at a high level, very confident, believing in themselves. Remember when I was like, I before the season was talking about Minnesota. Remember, first I didn't like them like back in August. In July. Then like in August, I was like, I'm turning the page with this. I think I am going to start leaning Teddy Bridgewater. And I got to say, though, if you look at Teddy Bridgewater's numbers, I mean, they don't blow you. They're not blowing you away. All right. So, I mean, it's not like he's incredible, but they're playing good football as a team, which that always obviously wins games. And they've been very successful. Green Bay's coming in, man. They got a lot of question marks going on, a lot of doubt in themselves, I think, outside of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers doubts himself, okay? I think he knows he's a great quarterback. I think he feels like he can find guys if they're open and get open. But I think that when you say doubt, and I think there's got to be some question marks now, and I love that you pointed out, and I got to give you props a couple of weeks ago, you pointed out the Green Bay lack of a pass rush.
Big time.
That's real.
It is real. They don't sack nobody.
Great observation, brother. And not only do they attack nobody, but you're not really putting pressure on a quarterback, which you have to do in the NFL. So now you're going to let Teddy Bridgewater kind of sit back there and be comfortable in the pocket?
Well, that's what I said. That's why I was on Denver when they faced Green Bay, because, I mean, you let your boy just sit back and kind of pick them apart, even if they're, little slants and 5-yard outs and stuff like that. I mean, he do it all day long.
But the reason I didn't like it is because my boy is not my boy no more.
I know.
And that's why I didn't like it, because now, what we're seeing now, that's what. In matter of fact, they did it the next week when they lost to the Colts. I just thought, like I said, that he can't make the throws and get it done. So I didn't think that he would win that game. But that's that particular game. But yeah, this is an issue, because if they can't get pressure on Teddy, he's going to find a way to move that offense, and Peterson will be able to run the ball, and Minnesota is going to have some success against the Packers. Now, I'm not really willing to take Minnesota.
No, definitely
so it's going to be a game that I got to watch. It's a great game. It's at 4 o'clock, so we'll get an eye on it. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
All right, and another game that's on the ticket that I know that, obviously we're without Peyton Ball, but you've got Denver going into a kind of a hot Bears team, Dream. I mean, they did win a couple of games in a row, and they are 4-5. The Bears are -1 point with Denver's old coach, John Fox, at the helm. I can't believe Chicago's favored here, man. Chicago's favored, bro.
Stop.
Jay Cuddles.
You said a hot Bears team.
They're hot. They're hot, man. They're on fire right now.
God.
They have won the last 2 games, man, on the road, and now they're coming and facing Denver in their building and in Soldier Field, and I don't know, brother.
If there ever was a spot for Osweiler to shine.
It's your boy Osweiler, kid, your new boy.
If there ever was a shot for Rottweiler to shine, we're going to unleash the Rottweiler on him.
Yes.
I think the Broncos are going to be okay in Chicago. And I might lean a little bit towards the under in that particular matchup.
41 points.
Yeah, I might lean a little bit towards that, considering that I expect Denver's defense knows now they got to definitely step it up. And they already were dope. So I don't know how much stepping up they can do, but they take it to the next level. And do remember in the last game that you didn't have Talib there.
Right.
Because he was suspended. So he'll be back, and he'll be on, Jeffries.
Yes.
And then once he's on Jeffries, that leaves, I guess, Bennett, which will throw maybe
Bennett.
Von Miller or somebody on him, and then I don't really know where Chicago goes.
And we got to see if Forte's back in the lineup as well.
I don't think so. I don't think. Well, we'll see. Right, definitely check that. But I don't think he's back yet. But if he is, keep an eye on that. But yeah, I'm not willing to go. I'm not ready to go get the Bears yet.
All right, so you got the Cincinnati Bengals on a short week, traveling across country to the Arizona Cardinals in the desert. Cincinnati's getting 4 points. They're a 4-point underdog with an under-over of 47.5. That is the 8:30 game. So that's Sunday Night Football, brother.
No doubt. You guys know I've adopted this Arizona Cardinal team. I really like this team. I've talked about them. They did give me some – I did not like, obviously, what they did in Cleveland and what they did in Pittsburgh. I found that to be kind of dusty. Didn't like that outcomes, obviously. But they caught back a little bit of love with me with how they handle Seattle. And I'm back, to feeling them. And they really haven't been talked about. It's kind of been under the radar, but, I mean, they're getting great play out of Carson Palmer. The defense is very solid, like what the coaching staff is doing. Listen, Cincinnati's got a problem coming in here this game. Both these teams play very similar, though. This is another game that I might like to lean under, but I really do like the Cardinals as well.
You got to love what Bruce Arians is doing over there.
I do love what he's doing, but he looks crazy on the sideline, though.
He does. Absolutely.
He looks absolutely crazy on the sideline.
One more game we're going to talk about, guys, and this is Monday Night Football, and obviously we'll be talking about it as it materializes, as it gets closer to Monday, but we got the Buffalo Bills coming into the undefeated New England Patriots, who are 9-0 and got 7 more games left to cap off an undefeated season. New England -7 with an under-over of 48.5. Is this the stumbling block for New England?
It could be, but I don't know. Rex goes overboard when he gets ready to play New England. I think he's probably going overboard in his locker room. At this point, I would imagine that his guys have kind of probably had enough of hearing him. So they're probably pulling back a little bit from him. I don't know where we're at, but it's the Patriots, and you obviously never bet against the Patriots. Like I said, I don't like betting against an undefeated team, so I'm not gonna drop that philosophy. Be very careful in this game, but the Bills will be competitive. And you've left out a couple of 4 o'clocks. You got Kansas City coming into San Diego, which I absolutely love because the Kansas City Chiefs are quietly look like they gotten their stuff together.
AFC playoff rush.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs quietly look like they've gotten their act together. They're going into San Diego, and the Chargers' act is terrible.
Yep.
So I happen to really have a little feeling for this game. I do like the Chiefs coming in to get their next win against this San Diego team that is about as I think San Diego's pretty bad right now.
I mean, I left out a couple of the nasty ones for a reason. But hey, if you want to get into them, feel free to do it.
I like Kansas City this week. I'm leaning there. I'm going to obviously keep an eye on it. Obviously, make sure and check the injury report. I'm not putting it in now. So I won't be part of the public that already put all their money in already. But anyway.
80% of the tickets are on Kansas City.
Yeah, I know.
So be careful.
I know.
Be careful
on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Yes. Go ahead.
The other thing you got is you got a Seattle team coming off a loss, awful Niner team coming in. The line's heavy.
Real heavy.
The line's real heavy, but Seattle, and then Cap owns Seattle. You got to hear that. Well, good, because Cap's on the bench, so he'll get Seattle. I like Seattle in this team, but you'll have to manipulate that line. But Seattle needs a win worse than ever, so that's a great spot for them, especially being at home with a bad Niner team coming into town. So that'll be a subject of discussion for Sunday.
Seattle has won the last 4 matchups between these teams.
All right.
And the last 3, they won by 16, 10, and 17. So just keep that in the back of your brains. And obviously San Francisco is not all that. And just real quick about the New England Patriots stream, I think they dodged a bullet here with your boy being injured because the next game they have after Buffalo, they have to go to Denver and play. And I don't know if your boy's going to be in the lineup or not with his foot injury.
Right.
So here's what I saw earlier in the year, guys. I did not realize that Peyton was going to be out, but there's a very good chance that the New England Patriots can run the table and go undefeated, at least for the regular season, because they have Buffalo this week at home. Then they got to go to Denver, which, we don't know if we're going to have Peyton Manning or not. They got the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Then they got to go to the Houston Texans. They have Tennessee at home. And then all they got to do is finish out with the Jets and Miami Dolphins on the road.
Which they're going to sit so many people in those last 2 games, especially with the loss of now Edelman getting hurt.
That does hurt them, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're going to sit people, so I just feel bad for that prop.
I don't know if they're going to sit people, man. What? I keep trying to say this to you, man. What better way to rub it in Goodell's face to go undefeated and be a Super Bowl champion?
They're not risking. Listen, they're too thin now. Maybe if Edelman was still there and I think it's Lewis. Maybe you don't do it, but now you're too thin. You don't want to go into play. They can't afford to lose another player going into playoffs. They can't. If they get a Gronk hurt or somebody Amendola hurt, who's already sissy soft anyway.
Yep.
Going into the playoffs, dude, forget it. They're going to get beat in the playoffs.
How long is Edelman out for?
I don't remember the diagnosis. I'm sorry.
All right, that's all right. I can pull it up in a minute if you go on a little tangent about anything else. I can go. I can pull it up. That's not an issue.
He said go on a little tangent about anything else. Let's go on a tangent. Let's get over. I got a tangent to go on. The Cleveland Cavaliers last night wanted to lose to the Detroit Pistons. That's a tangent to talk about. And LeBron in the interview afterwards, guys, I don't know if you picked it up, but LeBron said he went into the fact that they lost last year. They need to step it up. And he's talking about how the team that they lost to look hungrier than they look. So I like that communication out of him. He sounded, really good in all the things that he said. It was politically correct.
Yep.
They went in there and got beat last night. And I hit you up about it at the time. We also talked about the Wizards yesterday and the Wizards winning. I told you that they didn't match up well against the Bucks, and they went ham.
Nice. Just moving back to Julian Edelman real quick. He underwent foot surgery on Monday, and he will be back. Could return in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
that puts them right in the playoff hunt, brother.
Yeah. No, but they're not gonna 6 to 8 weeks. Hopefully, with him being like not even 100%. So they're not gonna risk getting a Gronk hurt or getting anybody else. Belichick's not gonna do it, son. Just forget it.
Okay.
It's not. There's no way. You see them sit guys. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it.
Well,
all right.
If you have a one-loss, if Cincinnati wins out, they have a one-loss Cincinnati team that, they want home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So I'm just saying. But anyway, moving over to the NBA, brother.
I think if any team doesn't care about the home field during the playoffs, it's the Patriots. They could win anywhere, dude.
Okay. All right.
I know you're trying to fight for your prop.
Yeah. 16-0.
If you didn't have the prop in, we wouldn't even be doing this.
I disagree. I heard that earlier in the year that they could run the table, and I kind of agree with it.
I know. All right. Now, when it doesn't happen, because it's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it's not happening. But when it doesn't happen, I'll be right here to say, hey.
Watch them go 16-0 and then lose that first playoff game.
No.
Got like the Colts come into town or something like that and beat them. Imagine that.
The Colts are not beaten. That's a bad one right there.
Oh, big ups.
All right.
All right. How I sleep. Big ups to AB Len out there sending us some stuff on Twitter here. All right. So
we're back to the NBA, guys. Cavs lost last week. As talked, the
night.
Brooklyn Nets got a win. They beat this Hawk team.
Nasty game, man. That Hawk, dude, I am so sick of that Hawk team, man.
I know you are.
I am not feeling them. And I don't think that they're going to make any kind of noise whatsoever moving forward in the playoffs. But you got this. Here's a game that's probably going to tickle your fancy a little bit, Dream. You got the Dallas Mavs coming into your Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics are minus 4.5 with an under over
today already. I was just recapping yesterday.
Oh, okay. They're under over of 204.5. You think the Boston Celtics are for real?
No, they're for real as they're a scrappy, hard fighting team. That doesn't mean that they're gonna beat the Mavs tonight, but they probably will. I don't really love this game because the Mavs are, in my opinion, slightly better than the Celtics, but the Celtics are up and coming. They do play hard basketball, but the Mavs are just a tad bit more talented and experienced than the Celtics are. Obviously, you add Dirk Nowitzki to the dynamics of this game, and that's a big point. But I kind of like the Celtics here.
Yeah.
I could lean the Celtics. Yeah, I like the Celtics to win at home. I think it's a tough game, though.
You think it's a tough game, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a tough game.
All right. Move it on. Let's just see what else is on the ticket here that's tickling my fancy as far as looking at these matchups. I really, really like this Oklahoma City Thunder team this year, man. They got the New Orleans Pelicans coming in with Anthony Davis, who are 1-10, man. What the hell happened to the Pelicans, bro?
Trying to get it together, which they can't. They remind me of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks right now. Team that should be up and coming and playing well and just not getting it done. I've always thought that Davis, personally, it's my personal opinion, tad bit overrated for the NBA. Like big. Not big enough to be a center, too big to be like a forward, kind of like that Kevin Garnett type player. But I don't think I don't know if you put him on Garnett's. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with saying something. Everybody starts going, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" Because cats do that to me, man. The minute I say something like the Demaryius Thomas thing, I get train wrecked for it. So I'm gonna ease back off that a little bit, but not having a good season.
Anthony Davis is Pelicans head coach said that he is uncertain as to whether or not Anthony Davis with a left shoulder injury will play versus the Thunder on Wednesday. He is day-to-day, and they got a bunch of other injuries here, including your boy Norris Cole that is injured there. Kevin Durant is expected to miss at least 2 additional games as he recovers with a left hamstring strain. So KD's going to be out here too. Stay away from that. That's a lot of points right there.
Yeah.
I know OKC plays pretty damn well without KD in the lineup, but for the most part, I think you stay away from that particular matchup.
I do too, but I like them because they're at home. The points are a lot.
It's a lot of points, man.
I know, but they'll probably cover, though.
All right, a couple of other key matchups here, and this one has kind of got me scratching my head. You got the 4-7 Houston Rockets hosting the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Houston Rockets, being 4-7, are given 7 points.
Too busy hosting.
Too busy hosting.
Yes. Houston, dude, people, stay away from Houston right now.
You got to stay away from them, man. You can't even think of getting involved with them.
Stay away from Houston until we figure it out.
Here's another one that's got me kind of scratching my head a little bit, which I guess I understand it to a certain extent, but you got the Utah Jazz, who have an incredible defense, one of the top defenses in all of the NBA, giving 4.5 points to the Toronto Raptors. Toronto 7-5, Utah is 5-5. Like I said, Utah giving 4.5 with an over of 189, man.
Raptors played last night, played Golden State. We're competitive in the game.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was going to be a competitive game, and it was. It wasn't up into the halftime though, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Golden State went in the half up 16.
Yeah.
And then Raptors made it close. Actually, Raptors had tied the game at one point, and had made the game close. And then Golden State pulled back ahead again. Tonight's game against the Jazz. Jazz have a good defense, pesty defense,
great defense,
but are still missing offensive talent, so to say. The Raptors are more talented to them. I just stay away from this game. I don't really like I don't really like the Jazz, but I don't really love the Raptors either, so it's a game I'd stay away from.
Right, exactly. So, moving over to the ice, brother.
No, hold on. There is a game I do like.
All right, what do you got?
Hold on, going to it right now. Charlotte Hornets tonight are hosting the Brooklyn Nets. And you guys know I like picking on this Nets team.
Yeah, you do.
I do like the Charlotte Hornets this evening.
The Charlotte Hornets, huh?
Yes, I do like the Charlotte Hornets. The 7 is a little bit high, a little bit on the high side. So I would try to manipulate the 7, but I do like the Charlotte Hornets to win this game. They probably will cover, but I would manipulate it just in case.
All right, sounds good. And looks like Brook Lopez will be in the lineup for the Brooklyn Nets. So, a couple of other injuries here. Just, nothing major as far as both of these teams are concerned. So both teams are pretty much be at full strength. So we will have a conversation later on and see what we are feeling as far as that's concerned. They're giving 7 points, man. So just keep that in the back of your brain. You good with NBA?
Good with NBA.
Moving over to the NHL, 3 games on the ticket here. You've got Vancouver Canucks at Winnipeg. You've got the Washington Caps at Detroit, and you got the Chicago Blackhawks at Edmonton. And big ups to the Dallas Stars for winning again.
No doubt. Which we talked about yesterday.
In stomachache fashion.
Son, I gotta say that, the leads in the morning are pretty good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The morning leads. I mean, I think we holding it down a little bit. I'm trying to give us a little bit of kudos. If you're listening to the show, I think a lot of the information we're giving out and we're doing here, I'm kind of thinking it's pretty spot on. And I noticed that the leans, as I watch, because we watch the landscape of what we talk about, obviously at night, and Hat and I sometimes hit each other on the text. And, I think a lot about what we talk about just comes right to fruition right on the evening. So, hey, whatever.
Well, there were 2 hiccups, though.
Okay.
Detroit Lions and Houston Texans.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Well,
those are 2 big hiccups. Which you could ask 99 people out of 100 would have said that Green Bay would have won that game, and vice versa with the Cincinnati Bengals. So
yeah, but that's different. Those were more picks than leans. I'm talking about just the when we go from sport to sport and lean
yeah.
And I'm saying that stuff is pretty good, man.
Yeah, right.
I think it's pretty good.
Right. Absolutely, man.
And I did do Kentucky yesterday. As far as the Wildcats, and I even end up. Somebody asked me on Twitter. I forget his name, but Danny asked me on Twitter. He wanted the Kentucky Duke winner, and I gave him Kentucky. It is. Sure enough, after the Kentucky game, Dream Michigan State Kansas. I'm like, dude, stop.
That's it, man. There's only 3 games on a ticket tonight, guys, and most of them are pretty much even money. Winnipeg is minus 130 over Vancouver. Winnipeg is at home. Washington, Detroit. Detroit is at home, and Washington is favored minus 120. And the Blackhawks at Edmonton. Blackhawks are minus 155. While we're on the subject of hockey, Dream.
Yes.
My 3 teams that I'm absolutely in love with as far as, moving forward and making a lot of noise as far as the playoffs are concerned.
Rangers.
Gotta go Rangers, gotta go Habs, gotta go Stars.
Okay, 3 best teams in hockey.
Definitely.
All right, gotcha.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, because I've been watching a lot of hockey, guys. I've been really entrenched, obviously with daily fantasy and just, getting involved in them on another different level at night, man. And just been watching it,
Keep your eye on Smashville, player.
Yeah. They're pretty good, too.
Smashville ain't no joke. And I know you hate the Kings, but
I do.
Somebody did talk about the Kings yesterday.
I can't stand the Kings.
I know.
Man.
You know who I feel like that with, though? Like, not can't stand, but just really, like agitated with them? The Bruins.
Well, dude, I texted you last night about
Yep.
that. You do it. I got to give you a lot of props on that, man. You called it as far as their stamina and closing out games.
I don't get it.
They can't do it, man.
They can't do it. I know.
They came back and they tied San Jose 3-3 last night, and then all of a sudden gave up an additional 2 goals like within 30 seconds of each other. They went down 5-3. They actually scored another goal and made it interesting, made it 5-4. But they just can't, in the second and third period, towards the latter parts of the second period and then the whole third period, they just can't do anything, man.
Out of gas. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it is, but they are out of gas by the third. I don't know if that's Listen, I don't know enough about hockey to know if that's a coaching issue, like if the lines aren't being changed right. If some of you guys got that information, hey, kick it to me. I'll talk about it on the show. If you think you know what the problem is, because listen, I do it all the time too. I think I know what the problem is with something. And hey, you know what? Yeah, I don't work in the NFL or I don't work for the NBA or whatever, but some things, you could be dead on. I'm sorry. There's a couple things I've been spot on about, and I don't have that $150,000, $500,000 paying job in the NFL. I wish I did, because I think I'd be better. I'd probably be awful too, though. My team be terrible. Everybody be like, "Yo, what the heck is that guy doing running the team? He's terrible."
You have to start off as like a quarterback's coach. Or,
no, I know, definitely. I got it.
Like
but my thing is, like, some guys know a little bit about the game if you played or you got any experience and you know about this, and maybe they're not changing the lines right. Maybe there's a hold up on something or leaving guys out there too long. I don't know what it is, but anybody who thinks they might know what's wrong with the Bruins, holla.
Yes, definitely. And there's another team, Dream, that, they've been kind of staggering as of late. They went 2-3 in their last 5, but this Pittsburgh Penguins team is going to be a pain in the ass in the playoffs.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to just have the conversation about them.
Their power play is outstanding.
That I'll give you.
Their power play is outstanding, guys. So
just keep Malkin's dope, though. Been dope for a few years.
Keep an eye out for the Pittsburgh Penguins this year, man.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about that. But, they're kind of like my dark horse.
Okay.
But I really love the Habs, Rangers, and Stars. Obviously, they're at the top. You know what I mean? But they've been playing really well so far, man.
Just got to say, I know you're going to not like it, but please do not overlook the L.A. Kings. I know.
What about the Blackhawks?
They're not doing it for me this year. No. But you know what? You got to keep eye on them too, though, because they are, the champion, and they do have the talent. So you got to keep an eye on them. But they're not doing it for me this year.
They're not going to repeat this year.
I don't think so, but we'll see. Still early in hockey, brother.
Still very early in hockey. Only 18 games in so far, man. So we got a lot of hockey to go. We're about, I'd say, what are we, a third through the season already? A little bit less than a third through the season. So we'll see what ends up going down with hockey, man. As far as the leans tonight are concerned, I'm not really feeling any of these games.
Gotcha.
Not. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for us.
You know what? Yesterday, right? I went. Listen, I had to get my emissions done yesterday, right? Yep. Don't you feel like emissions is like an excuse to pull black people over? I
wouldn't know.
Because let me just tell you something about emissions, right? Emissions is nonsense, all right? I can't believe that the American public has even gone for it, because here's my deal, right? If your car was made, let's say, in the last 10 years, there's like no emissions problem. Like I go in and it's obviously the Mercedes, right? I bring the Mercedes in, the guy, and then I love it because the emission guy's all excited to get in my car. He can't wait to get in. Starts adjusting stuff, changing, playing with the buttons. I'm like, this dude, you know what I mean? Because I'm peeking at him through the window and I'm trying like to not go ham in there. So then he gets in the car. Then he comes back in. He's like, oh man, really nice car. I'm like, yeah, thank you. So then he goes, well, your emissions is fine. And it's like, dude, like really? Like did you really think there's gonna be a problem with my emissions? I'm like, do you know what the car costs? Like, I think that they would have the emissions like dead right.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just a bunch of crock, personally.
Son, it is such a crock, but it's like I said, it's like whatever, like whatever, like there's a shooting. It's like, well, why'd you pull him over? Well, his emissions was expired. It's like, dude, like really, like you're pulling me over about my emissions right now. I'm trying to go to the damn. I got my kid's game, or my wife's pregnant having a baby, and you're worried about my emission sticker. Stop it.
Yes,
I was sitting there I was just cracking up about the whole emission thing yesterday, and just thought it was a big travesty as far as emissions is concerned, because I just don't think that it's that big of an issue. And then here's the other thing that I love about emissions. If your car, now this is Connecticut, which Connecticut has the most crazy laws and rules, but if your car is over 10 years old in Connecticut, you can register it as a classic, okay? If your car is registered as a classic, you're exempt from getting your emissions checked.
That's awesome.
No, because that's what the stupid part is, because any car over 20 years has an emissions problem.
I'd love to see like a 1997 Ford Explorer at a car show. You know what I'm saying? Just pull in all rusted up or whatever. Just pull in and be a jerk. And just pull up the hood and just be standing there. You know what I'm saying? What would they say to you, man? Be like, yo, it's a classic. I'm good. Trust.
Oh, man, but the American I mean, the stuff we put up with out of, you know, I mean, and you guys, I'm sure you guys, I think everybody's got emissions. I guess you got it. That is like one of the biggest nonsense bills ever. And like at the time when it came out, it probably had some validity to it because the vehicles were having issues. Then moving forward, they put all the responsibility on the car makers to make it copacetic, but then they never stopped pulling the emissions, so they never start, because once you get money, you're not going to stop getting it.
No doubt. Hey, interesting news that just came across my board, man. The Houston Rockets have fired Coach Kevin McHale.
Yeah, you know what? Antonio Davis said that yesterday. Wow.
Go on.
Antonio Davis said that yesterday. I was listening to him, and who was absolutely hilarious yesterday, talking about guys that Charles Oakley smacked. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But he said that one, he didn't like Houston. He didn't like the way the team was built, and he felt like if they weren't going to win, that McHale would be probably getting fired. And pow, it's all coming to fruition right now. Pow, that's crazy.
Go on, man. So, hey, we'll see what ends up happening with that.
So that'll make the team better. That's what it was.
Yeah, that'll make them real good. That'll make them cover the 7 tonight.
That'll make Dwight want to get in there and hustle and play up to his potential.
Definitely, guys. All right.
Hey, and want to thank everybody that's out there retweeting the show. Thank you guys for spending this time with us, enjoying the morning show with us. MJ86 out there, JDH24, James M. Thompson's out there, Joseph Del Rosario, Snoopy Betts, Real Pick, CK Wins is out there, Frank Vincalato, AZ Wildcat 83, good morning to you. Pravi's out there, AB Lent is out there, Slick Rick is going on, KMVU is doing his thing, C. Rodriguez Jr. is out there, my man Rigetti, Strategic Investments is out there as well. It be easy. What's happening, player? We got my man Rich Raven out there as well. Sarat King J is in the house. Lone Star Ombre, MC Money, LA WizKid, Total Sports Edge doing their thing. What's going on to you this morning? Razor Ramon, Jason Riley, Rick Lopez. Rick Lopez, always good to see you out there, brother. Caveman, Direct Sports Solution, good morning to you as well. Always good to see you and Nicholas J. Jeff Ryan also, Christos, Long Wu, Mind Funk. Mario Martinez, the ever-present Vegas Girl 92661, along with Terry Brashard, who's always in the house, and OJFB as well. Guys, we love you to death. You guys are always supporting us. Most of you guys get on and get up with us every morning. We're part of your morning routine, and we are so happy to be there and be that way. Listen, anything you guys ever want us to talk about or get into, please feel free. I am following most of you, and the ones that I'm not, I'll make sure I do it right now. send me a DM, send me a shout out, let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll get on it and we'll try to handle it. Other than that, we're going to get out of here. I am the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, just so you know how we go with the T-shirts and the apparel and all that, the winners of Freaky Fridays have been getting a T-shirt free. They win those, and that's how they get sent out. What we're going to be doing is we're going to actually have an apparel line. We're going to have T-shirts, tank tops for the men and women, hats, the whole package. We're going to have a shopping cart on our new website when it comes. And the website is in the works. It's taking a little bit longer than we anticipated, but it's going to be insane. Number one, you're going to be able to track your plays on there. Number two is you're going to be able to look at all the most beautiful women in Freaky Friday going to be featured on our website. Number three, you can buy any of our apparel. Number four, you'll be able to post whatever the hell you want on some of the forums. And we're looking very much forward to launching this thing, and it is going to be absolutely insane. Sometimes you got to wait for the good stuff in life, man. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Do your own homework. Take your own plays. Make all your dreams a damn reality. And get that money. Let's go.